Hey guys, my name is Brian. This is the Poke Chalet channel, and today is debrief day. Today we went to the Maritime Collectibles Convention in Moncton, New Brunswick, and we vended, we wore the swag, we did the old vending hubbubaloo. And this is the stories. There's a couple of stories mixed in through it. Vending day is hard. We had to wake up at 5 a.m. We had to drive 2.5 hours from here to Moncton, and we arrived around 8:15. Enough time to get in there, get our things unloaded from the car. It was in a hotel that had like stairs, like people were unloading their Pokemon stuff, their boxes, their wagons, and they had to walk upstairs to get to the vending floor, which, I mean, it's weird. Not even a ramp. Like, this is multiple stairs. Anyway, so it was an interesting venue, very beautiful venue, great organization, great show. Like, it's a lot of good people. But when we got there, you know, it was pretty tired. We were pretty rushed, but we made it happen. So we set up. We did only get we squeezed in at the very last minute. We got like one table, and I'm sure even if we had two, I don't think it would have had enough car room to bring more than for one table, but we set up one table, myself and my son Kai, and we began the day. Now, we had a deal in place when we got there. We were taking some sealed product in exchange for some singles. I don't like to vend singles in person because it screws up my inventory, but if I get a big box of cards, I will vend them. You know, I can, do trades, all that fun stuff. So that's what I had set up when we got there. The person I had set it up with, amazing person, had everything like price tagged. So all we had to do was like start. It was almost like a bespoke singles card vending experience. No, we brought some stuff. We brought packs. We brought black and white, lots of black and white product. We brought a bunch of slabs. Now, they were not the king slabs, not the best in the world. I think my next move with these slabs, they're like $50 and below slabs. My next move, I'm just gonna clear them out on eBay. So I might get $2 for them, I might get $6 for them, I might get the full market, but anyway. So we had slabs, we had sealed, and we had this nicely priced box of singles that we're able to work with. Now, the first hour was VIPs, which I think mean people who want to get in early, basically. So the first hour was VIPs. No VIPs visited us, which was interesting. We saw them going around. I think they were going to their buddies and their friends and the traditional vendors that they know in the area. And my son was looking at me like, is it bad that it's the first hour and we haven't made a sale? I'm like, no, just wait. People will find us. And people did find us. So we don't have the same, you know how you're on the vendor floor and everybody's selling the exact same thing. We have that problem, right? Every convention is that same problem. Everyone's selling the exact same sealed product. Prices are the only thing that really differentiates. And that's what we did today. So we had we had some of the best prices there. There was a few, things where someone had older inventory that was not priced the same as what we had, but we did well. I think we were selling the ETBs at like MSRP. So MSRP plus tax, which is cheaper, much cheaper than Mark for the black and the white ETBs, market for the black and the white ETBs. So we did well there. We basically went through a bunch of cases of black and white. Some of the part of the trade was to actually give the person some black and white steel product, and it went well. So my son was like, why didn't we bring more cases of black and white? And I'm like, well, we only had a certain amount, right? He doesn't know the inventory levels. He thinks it's an infinite supply of Pokemon, and that's very untrue. That's part of the problem that we currently have. And we'll talk about that later in another video about what's coming up for Megas, because I think the winds are finally changing. Anyway, off topic, back to the convention. So I was going to do vendor POV, but I got there and there was no there's no plugs, no place to plug in. And I thought about setting it up, and I realized that we were so tight. We were so like crunched in between two other vendors that if we started to do that, it would kind of like take away. And we're trying to be good neighbors. So we didn't get the POV material set up, which is unfortunate. But vending continued. So there were some moving of singles. There were some, obviously moved all the black and white product. Slabs didn't go so well. The slabs were cheap slabs, and I think really I just have to like put that on eBay and like say goodbye to a lot of those $50 sub slabs. Just they're sitting on the shelf. They should be rehomed for whatever the price, whatever the market goes, whatever they get bid on. Whoever wants them, whoever bids on them can have them, really. So a lot of that, and it was good. It was nice to see everybody, nice to talk to a lot of people. I was talking to one person, Spoink. He's going to do a Spoink master set. That is an admirable, an admirable thing. Do you know how hard it would be to do a Spoink master set? Because, I mean, there's cards with Spoink on them and other Pokemon, one thing, but they're all like common and uncommon. And you're not going to find like Spoink rare. You'll easily get, some, but the bulk of the Spoink cards they're not going to be easily findable, and it's a good challenge. So kudos to you, Spoink Master Collector. Kudos to you. Makes me want to pick up a challenge like that. I had a good conversation with him about the whole concept of reverse hollows and how I'm specking on them, right? I'm speculating that they're going to have a lot of value down in the future. So that's one of the things that I personally love is reverse hollows. You guys know that. And yeah, we had a good conversation. That was one of the best things, is you have these short, brief conversations with people, and they don't have to buy, they don't have to, sell you anything. You don't have to do anything like that, but it's part of it. And it's tiring. Holy crap, am I tired. Like, I had to roll the windows down on the way home and just stick my head out and just like, stay awake. This is a long drive back. So the conversations, though, are worth it. Even though you don't we had a good day, but you don't make a ton of money compared to how much effort it is to be there, how tiring it is, the costs of gas to get there, the table costs, the meal. Like my vending partner, my son, expects Subway sandwiches when we're done vending. So everything costs, right? So we were going through and we had a good day. At the end of the day, someone came by and saw that I was buying. Now, I was buying through the day. People didn't seem to be selling. I made a few good purchases. Some people would, like, I was paying 75% of market. So it's not bad, not bad. And it was I don't say no to anything, right? No singles. If you have a penny, not a penny, but like, if you have a 50-cent single, I'll give you 50 cents for it. Well, 40 cents for it. So we did that whole vending throughout the day. But then at the end of the day, guy named Kai, unrelated to my son, guy named Kai, he basically shopped around his two big singles for the entire convention floor and finally ended up at me. And I gave him an offer that he could not refuse, and I ended up picking up the Victini monochrome and the Zekrom monochrome, which they're really clean, really good, and I'm probably going to go and just pop them in a PSA as soon as I can and do the old graded monochrome. Now, the monochrome cards are really interesting because we don't have any experience with the rarity. And I have been watching a lot of videos, and from my understanding, I think the rarity of the Zekrom and the Victini is up there. And which means I think they're a little bit more rare, not than an alt-art or not than an SIR, but I think they might be as rare as you chasing after a particular card in a set. So they might be as rare as like the Umbreon SIR, an individual SIR. I think they might be that rare, not an SIR, but I think they're as rare as an individual SIR. I'm kind of curious how many SIRs. I think I need to look at some of the the data that's coming out. But being a special set, there's not going to be a lot of packs available. I think all the effort is going into Mega. Pizza's ready. Give me 1 second. I think all the effort is going into Mega for printing, and I think we're going to see like small amounts of black and white. It's a summer specialty set, so I don't think the supply is going to be very big. And these 2 cards, these monochrome cards, are the 3. I didn't get the white one, but my instinct is if we don't see monochrome in Megas, which I haven't seen yet, but if we don't see monochrome, I think that could be it. It could be very much like the silver card, the silver card from a long ago. It could be that these monochromes are one and dones, which means they might have some legs, like some long-term, right? Long-term, like piece. These are pieces. These are really unique cards. So I'm sort of specking on that. I'm going to send them to PSA, get them back, and then I'll decide then. By then we'll know if they're common as can be or if they're as rare as maybe. But I think they're really nice cards, like in person. Yeah, really nice cards. And so that's the thing, I bought them. And I paid more than any other vendor in the entire place was willing to pay. As soon as I said my number, the guy's like, yeah, deal. So I think I might have paid, but I'm like, I wanted the cards. So sometimes you pay more because you want it. So yeah, and we had such a day where it was like, the downside risk was really low for buying those cards. It's definitely there, but it was really low. So we bought those cards. I think tomorrow I'll drop them off at PSA and see how fast I can get them back, I guess. But it was a good day. Tired. Now, this was a 9:30 to 5 vending scenario, which means I'm gonna make sure my pizza thing is done. Pizza is like overdone. That sucks. So I will say that everyone at like 3:30 was looking around and they're looking. I'm giving you my old face. So if I don't smile at that one, everyone was completely spent. That was a long session, and it's because most of them were doing double headers. So there was another conference the day before yesterday. I skipped it here, where we are. And I think a lot of them did it. Like they did that show, and then they did today. And everyone was like, we had some long faces. We had some long faces, some raging bold vendors going on with the long necks, but ooh, Pokemon joke. So it was a really good day to vend. Honestly though, like for us, it's a once a year thing, I think. I don't think I would want to spend more time vending. I hadn't been able to get the same amount of purchasing that I would like to do. I think I would get more purchasing if I was just like pinging people off Facebook, people who are looking to exit versus people who are shopping. And it's like people who are shopping don't seem to be selling. And I did notice that a lot of people were walking around without binders. Some had them and were willing to trade and sell, but a lot of people were without binders, which was an interesting thing. And I think that's why I didn't see much to buy. The other interesting things, like there's so many master set collectors now, which is amazing, right? It's such a hard thing to do, is collect a master set of something, of, fairy, of Spoink. I don't know if I already talked about the Spoink collector, but really it's gonna be cool. I hope he finds my instant posts when he gets some more Spoinks, because it's an interesting endeavor. So that was the vending summary. We sold a lot of sealed. We didn't take our own singles. We bought singles and tried to build, but it didn't go as I didn't buy as much as I want. Financially wise, I did buy a lot because of those 2 cards. I kind of the monochrome, I spent on those. But from other words, I still had more like money in the bank that I was expecting to send, and there wasn't enough people selling. So I would make more purchases finding people on the books, the Facebooks. So I guess I'll probably have to do that because I am hungry for inventory. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little summary. It's exciting to do these things. If you ever have a chance to do it, do it once, see if you like it. I am an introvert. I am so tired right now from talking to people. It's both fun and draining. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Watch what happens to the Poke Chalet.